Close your eyes for a second and imagine this moment. You're sitting in a coffee shop and someone speaks to you in English. A simple question. Hey, how's your day going? You understand every single word, but your mouth frozen and your brain blank. The words you need are somewhere but are not coming out, so you smile, you nod and say something basic, and they walk away. Then you end feeling like an idiot. You know this English. You can read novels very well. You understand movies with subtitles. But speaking, that's a different universe. This is your reality, isn't it? But you're not alone. Millions of people have this exact problem. They understand English perfectly, but they can't speak it. Why? Today, I'm going to tell you the real reason, not the excuse your teacher gave you. The actual psychological and neurological reason this happens all the time. And more importantly, I'll show you how to fix it. Because once you understand why your brain does this, everything changes. Let's find out the truth. Reason number one, understanding and speaking use completely different brain systems. Here's what nobody tells you. When you understand English, you're using your receptive system. This system is passive. It receives information, processes, and recognizes it. It's like being in an audience watching a concert. But when you speak English, you're using your productive system. This system is active. It creates, generates, and performs the action. Now you're not in the audience anymore. You're on stage. You're the performer. These are completely different skills, completely different pressure. Your brain learned to be a good audience member by watching, listening, and understanding. But it never learned to perform the action, which is speaking. Think about this. You can watch basketball and understand every move. Does that mean you can play basketball? No. Understanding the game and playing the game are different. English is the same. You've trained your brain to understand and receive information, but you have never trained it to produce or create or to speak. That's why you freeze each time you try to speak. It means your receptive system works perfectly, but your productive system has never practiced. You need to train both systems, not just one. Understanding is input, speaking is output. You've been collecting input for years, but you never practiced output. It's like filling a bucket with water but never pouring it out. The water is there, but it stays stuck inside. Your English knowledge is the same. It's in your head, but it can't flow out. This isn't your fault. This is how you were taught. They are always focusing on the input, for you to read, listen, and understand. But nobody trained your output system. Now you know that the two systems need practice. Reason number two, you're translating and translation is too slow. Let me guess what happens in your head. Someone asks in English, "What do you do for work?" Your brain immediately translates to your language. Then you think of the answer in your language. Then you translate that answer back to English. Then you check if the grammar is correct. Then maybe you speak. How many steps is that? 5 steps. By the time you finish step 5, the conversation had moved on. The other person is already talking about something else, and you missed your chance. This is called the translation trap, and it makes speaking impossible. Here's the painful truth. Native speakers don't translate. They think in English. They answer in English. You're doing 5 steps while they're doing 1. Your brain is working overtime, processing two languages, switching back and forth. It's always exhausting and slow. That is why you freeze. Now here's what makes it worse. The more you translate, the more your brain relies on translation, which will become a habit, an automatic pattern. Your brain thinks, this is how we do English. So every time you try to speak, your brain activates the translation system, even when you don't want it to. It's like a highway in your brain. The more you drive on it, the deeper the path becomes. Translation highway, deep and automatic, direct thinking highway, barely exists. You need to build the direct thinking highway. Stop using translation. Start thinking in English directly. I know what you're thinking, but how? I don't know how to think in English. I'll show you, but first understand this. Translation is killing your speaking ability. Every time you translate, you make the problem worse. The habit gets stronger. The delay gets longer. You need to break this pattern, starting today. Reason number 3, you're trying to speak perfect English and perfectionism destroys speaking. Let me ask you something honest. When you're about to speak English, what are you thinking? Is this grammar correct? Is my pronunciation right? Will they understand my accent? Am I using the right word? You're checking everything before you speak. You want it perfect. And while you're checking, the moment passes. The conversation moves on without you. Perfectionism feels safe. It feels responsible. But perfectionism is not your friend. It's your enemy. Here, speaking is not about perfection. Speaking is about communication. If I say, yesterday I go to store, is that perfect grammar? No. Did you understand me? Yes. Communication happened, that's what matters, but your brain was trained differently. In school, what happened when you made a mistake? Red mark, points deducted. Your teacher corrected you in front of everyone. Maybe someone laughed, and that memory got stuck with you. Now, years later, your brain is terrified of mistakes, because mistakes means shame. Mistakes means failure. So your brain protects you. It says, don't speak unless it's perfect. Don't risk the shame. This is a survival mechanism. Your brain trying to protect you, but it's protecting you from the wrong thing. The real danger isn't making mistakes. The real danger is never speaking at all. Think about children. How do they learn to speak? They make mistakes constantly, thousands of mistakes. I go to park. She don't like it. 2 mouses. Wrong, wrong, wrong. But do they freeze? Do they stop speaking? No. They keep talking, making mistakes. Learning, nobody judges them. Everyone encourages them. That's how they become fluent. But you learn that mistakes are bad, so now you don't speak until it's perfect. And perfect never comes. You wait and wait and wait for the perfect sentence. Meanwhile, native speakers are out there making mistakes too. They say and They forget words. They restart sentences. They're not perfect, but they're communicating. You need permission to be imperfect. You need to value communication over correctness. Messy communication beats perfect silence every single time. Reason number 4. Your mouth literally doesn't know how to move. This might sound strange, but it's true. Speaking is a physical skill, not just mental. Your tongue, your lips, your jaw, your vocal cords, they all need training. English has sounds your native language doesn't have. Your mouth never learned those movements. Think about the TH sound. In many languages, this sound doesn't exist. Your mouth never practiced putting your tongue between your teeth. So when you try to say think or three, your mouth struggles. It feels weird, uncomfortable, foreign. Now multiply this by hundreds of sounds and word combinations. Your mouth doesn't have the muscle memory. It's like trying to play guitar without ever practicing. Your brain knows what song to play, but your fingers don't know how to move. Same with speaking. Your brain knows what to say, but your mouth doesn't know how to say it. You need physical practice, not just mental knowledge. This is why reading English doesn't make you speak better. Reading trains your eyes and brain. Speaking trains your mouth and tongue. Different muscles, different training. Here, another problem. Even if you know the words, you don't know how they sound in real speech. In textbooks, I am going to go to the store. In real speech, I'm gonna go to the store. Your mouth practiced the textbook version, but natives use the real speech version. So when you speak the textbook way, it sounds robotic. And when you hear the real way, you can't copy it. Your mouth isn't trained. You need to train your speaking muscles. Say words out loud. Practice sounds. Mimic native speakers. Move your mouth. Feel the movements. Build the muscle memory. This is physical training like going to the gym. Your understanding is strong, but your speaking muscles are weak. Time to build them. Reason number 5. Anxiety literally blocks your language access. This is the most important reason. When you feel nervous, your brain changes how it works. Let me explain. Your brain has two modes, calm mode and panic mode. In calm mode, you can access your English knowledge. Words flow. Grammar comes naturally. You can think clearly. But when you feel afraid or anxious, your brain switches to panic mode. In panic mode, your brain prioritizes survival. It shuts down non-essential functions. And guess what's considered non-essential? Language processing. Your brain says, danger. No time for finding English words. Focus on survival. Even though speaking English isn't actually dangerous. But your brain doesn't know that. Social fear triggers the same panic response. Fear of judgment, fear of embarrassment, fear of failure. Your brain treats this like physical danger, and it shuts down your language center. This is why you can think of the perfect sentence 5 minutes after the conversation ends. Because now you're calm. Now your brain can access the words. But during the conversation, panic mode, access blocked. This happens to millions of learners. You know the English. You studied for years, but under pressure it disappears. Not because you forgot it, because your brain locked the door. Fear is the lock. Calmness is the key. You need to reduce the fear. How? By changing what speaking English means to you. Right now, speaking English means, I might fail, I might embarrass myself. That creates fear. You need to reframe it. Speaking English means, I'm practicing, I'm learning. Every attempt makes me better. No failure, only practice. When you remove the judgment, you remove the fear. When you remove the fear, your brain stays in calm mode. When your brain is calm, the English flows. This is the secret, not more vocabulary, not more grammar, less fear. So now you know the 5 reasons. Different brain systems, translation habit, perfectionism, no muscle memory, fear blocking access. What do you do about it? Here's the solution. Simple but powerful. Step 1. Practice output, not just input. Stop only reading and listening. Start speaking. Every day, even alone, describe what you see. Talk to yourself. Record your voice. Train your productive system. Step 2. Think directly in English. Stop translating. When you see a dog, think the word dog in English, not your language first. Build that direct thinking highway. Start small. Simple words, then sentences. This takes time. Be patient. Step 3. Embrace imperfect communication. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. Say the sentence, even if it's not perfect. Communication first. Correction later. Messy speaking beats perfect silence. Step 4. Train your speaking muscles. Say words out loud. Mimic native speakers. Shadow their speech. Copy their mouth movements. Record yourself. Listen back. Adjust. Physical practice. Every day. Step 5. Reduce the fear. Reframe what speaking means. It's not a test, it's practice. There's no failure, only learning. Talk to yourself first. No judgment there. Then talk to supportive people. Build confidence slowly. Fear decreases with exposure. The more you speak, the less scary it becomes. These 5 steps will transform your speaking. Not overnight, but with consistent practice. You already understand English. That's half the battle. Now train the other half. The speaking half. Let's review what we learned. You understand English but can't speak it because 1. Different brain systems. You trained input, not output. 2. Translation trap. Too many steps to speak. 3. Perfectionism. Waiting for perfect sentences that never come. 4. No muscle memory. Your mouth isn't trained. 5. Fear blocks access. Anxiety shuts down your language center. These are real scientific reasons, not excuses, not laziness, not lack of intelligence. Your brain and body need different training. And now you know exactly what training to do. Here, what I want you to understand. Understanding English means you're already successful. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from 50%. The other 50% is speaking practice. And speaking practice is easier than understanding practice because you already have the foundation. You just need to build on it. Start today, right now.